A Vol football season full of highs and lows, big ideas and big follow-through, student government updates. And heroes come to town, the 2014 Medal of Honor Convention, right here in Knoxville. This and more on your semester wrap-up of TVC News.
Once we have all that appropriate information, we will act in a very decisive manner, which we have proven over time to do here at the University of Tennessee.
Fall football players A.J. Johnson and Michael Williams were suspended from team activities in mid-November. Thanks for joining us for our end-of-the-year show. I'm Maggie Solomon.
And I'm Rilwan Balogun. The Knoxville Police Department is investigating those players for rape and sexual assault of two 19-year-old women. KPD responded to the call early November 16th at the Woodlands apartment complex. All this just a few hours after the Vols' victory against the Kentucky Wildcats. One woman was transferred to UT Medical Center.
Jones confirmed Monday that the investigation involved two Vol football players. Johnson and Williams were suspended shortly after. The pair did not play the last two games of the season.
KPD's investigation is ongoing and no charges have yet been filed.
The University of Tennessee's Board of Trustees ends this semester with no representative from UT Knoxville. In April, Governor Haslam appointed R.J. Duncan to represent UT Knoxville students on the Board of Trustees in November. He stepped down.
This comes just after some controversy surrounding his appointment. Duncan did not win the popular vote among students in April. He came in second. Since the position is ultimately an appointment by the governor's office, Governor Haslam chose Duncan out of the three student representatives on the ballot.
The final list submitted by student government this semester includes Jalen Blue, a junior, Grant Davis, a law student, and Bethany Van Hooser, a senior who plans to return as a master's student. Those names will be sent to Governor Haslam's office. He will make the final decision. SGA President Kelsey Kenny says that this kind of representation is important for the student body, and she is excited to see the process move forward.
What's next is we get our student representative on the Board of Trustees to give us a voice, and then in a year to give us a vote.
The whole UT system saw a big change in funding this year. Last year, the state legislature passed a joint resolution. That resolution required the University of Tennessee Board of Trustees to allow students to opt out of paying programming fees. Student Government Association encouraged students to opt in.
Opt in.
Opt in.
Opt in.
At UT Knoxville, about 82% of students opted into that fee. It allows students to attend events sponsored by Central Programming Council, Black Cultural Programming Committee, and other student organizations.
Student Government Association's Senate passed several pieces of legislation now in the hands of school administration. First off, bill to mandate first-year orientation passed with 64% of the vote. That bill would make nearly every part of freshman orientation mandatory to attend. Right now, only a few events are mandatory. Next, a bill that would improve maps on campus. The bill to introduce a more complete campus map would improve bus maps at T-stops. It would require adding building and street names to existing maps.
A bill that would install Braille in more campus buildings passed and is already being implemented in the nursing building. This bill will be paid in full by a grant from the Americans with Disabilities Act. The gender-neutral bathroom bills was also this semester's most controversial SGA initiative. It would require every building on campus to convert at least one restroom to a gender-neutral or family-style one. This excludes sorority and fraternity houses. If enacted, this will also be paid by the ADA funding and put into effect by 2019.
Senate also passed a resolution to denounce the removal of the Lady Vols brand from women's athletics at the University of Tennessee.
It was a historic year on Rocky Top. The Medal of Honor Convention chose Knoxville as its home for 2014. Recipients of the nation's highest military honor, the Medal of Honor, spent about a week here in September. They did a little bit of everything in Knoxville, from visits to local schools in Black Hawk helicopters to a star-studded gala with CNN's Jake Tapper, Lone Survivor star Mark Wahlberg, and Lieutenant Dan himself, Gary Sinise. Medal of Honor recipient Clint Romeshay said in comparison to last year's convention in Gettysburg, Knoxville did a great job.
I've only done two, Gettysburg and now Knoxville. You know, and I loved our event in Gettysburg. It was phenomenal. I would love to go back to visit Gettysburg any chance I get, but I could see moving to Knoxville after just the love and the welcome and the warmth here.
Next year, the convention calls Boston, Massachusetts home.
The University of Tennessee's School of Journalism and Electronic Media got involved in the convention. Dr. Nick Geiner started the Medal of Honor project about 3 years ago. The project's mission is to tell the stories of the 79 living Medal of Honor recipients. About 30 students were involved in 5 live productions during the convention. They are currently producing a documentary following the week's events. You can find more of their work at mohproject.org. Now, if you've stepped foot on campus, you've probably noticed one thing, and that one thing is construction.
Of course, and this year we've seen a lot of new buildings go up while old buildings came down. And Strong Hall, Gibbs Hall, and the Stokely Athletic Center are still gone this year, Strong will be replaced by a new live facility. Stokely and Gibbs make new way for practice fields and a parking garage. This is the last year for the University Center. It comes down this summer. A new addition to the campus that generated a lot of buzz back in August, the Bridge to the Hill. Another new building on campus, Brown Hall, opened its doors in August. The new residence hall housed more than 700 students in suite-style rooms.
And new dining options for students on the Strip. Panda Express and Raising Cane's opened this fall. These are currently the only 2 UT dining restaurants on the Strip. They both offer meal equivalency and accept dining dollars.
The Strip isn't the only new place to accept payment by vol card this year. Neyland Stadium now accepts all-star accounts. A student government campaign sparked the discussion between SGA, Athletics, and Airmark. Airmark says this system will continue next season. Right now, vol cards can only be used at certain concession stands near the student section.
Now, vol football is known for a lot of things good and not so good.
You're right, but one tradition, though, has been a part of UT football since the days of General Neyland, the checkerboard.
That checkerboard pattern landed on the field in 1964. The legend says that General Neyland always told his players to run for the checkerboard, and he was talking about the pattern at the top of the Ayers clock tower. And this year, that checkerboard took a whole new meaning at the Florida game. Checker Neyland started on social media and grew fast. At the sellout game, more than 102,000 fans turned out in orange and white. Even Gator fans had to admit that there was something special happening in Neyland.
I mean, we are Gator fans, but it was pretty cool.
Students who turned out for the game said they weren't surprised.
Everybody just spread the word, you know. We all found out, we all shared. Everybody wanted it to, be a reality, and now it is.
Now, we kind of started the whole Checker Neyland after Oklahoma did it. We saw Oklahoma did it, and we're like, we're big orange. We can do that bigger and better.
I'm going to say we did do it bigger and better.
Way better.
I kind of got the panoramic view, so it was absolutely just
It was
stunning.
beautiful. And then, of course, Vanderbilt tried to do the same thing. And, it just didn't work out so well for them. But we did it.
Well, the ball football team certainly had a rocky season, and we weren't exactly on the rocky top. Katherine Donnelly has our fall sports wrap. Katherine?
Thanks, guys. Good news, Vol fans. The Volunteers are bowl eligible for the first time since the 2010 season. They ended their season 6-6 with their final win against in-state rival Vanderbilt. Tune into ESPN Sunday night to see which bowl game and opponent Tennessee will face in the postseason. Some current frontrunners for the Vols are the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, the Belk Bowl in Charlotte, and the Music City Bowl in Nashville. Sticking with Vols news, 7 games into the season, Justin Worley announced he wouldn't be playing due to a shoulder injury. And in came sophomore quarterback Josh Dobbs, or as some people call him, Space Dobbs. Dobbs, an aerospace engineering major, made his debut against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Dobbs finished the season with 1,077 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, and a chance to play in a bowl game. On a sadder note, Tennessee tennis player Sean Carr lost his battle with cancer this past month. Carr was 20 years old. Friends, family, and members of the Vol community gathered at Good Friend Tennis Center to honor Sean's life and legacy. Court 1's name at the center was changed to Sean Carr Court. Looking ahead to spring, Tennessee basketball season is underway. The men are off to a 4-3 start despite Donnie Tyndall's investigation with the NCAA. The ladies suffered 2 back-to-back losses by UTC and Texas, but recovered with a triple-digit win over St. Francis. You can check out both the Volunteers and Lady Vols at home over the break. That's all for sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Katherine. And we're all certainly looking forward to basketball season and, of course, that bowl game. But looking forward to the next semester, a new restaurant comes to Fred Brown Hall Twisted Tacos is scheduled to open in December. It's a Mexican-style restaurant with, well, you guessed it, lots of taco options, and the possibility of a game day special, the Big Orange Burrito. And it's finals time at UT, and that means some people need a little extra kick to the library to get that studying done.
Let's try this one more time, y'all.
Some students organized a flash rave in Hodges Library this week, complete with crowd surfing, a DJ, and I'm guessing a lot of Snapchats. Quarterback Josh Dobbs even made an appearance. This is the second semester in a row students have held a rave in the library.
And the second semester in a row that I've yet to miss the same rave. I came there like 9:20 and it was already over.
Really? Ooh, I kind of just stumbled into it, so.
After I told you it was happening too,
Oops.
but that's all we have this semester for TVC News. I'm Rilwan Balogun.
And I'm Maggie Solomon. Have a great winter break, Falls.